Benny has indeed beat us to this. So Benny already knew that Clara is not the mother. Yet Clara was making sacrifices. We were all thinking that Benny was going to be angry. We are begging Clara to actually tell Benny. Maybe Clara has actually done this inside and perhaps advise Benny not to blow it in the open, just like what has happened between Jonathan and Emeka. Emeka was underestimating Jonathan, thinking that Jonathan will never get a job, right? But Jonathan at this point decided to hide some things from Emeka. Perhaps Jonathan already know that Emeka is not a good fellow. He already knows that Emeka will always sabotage him if he eventually tell Emeka about the job. Now Emeka is disappointed in himself. This is how we should hide some things from our enemies, because most of the times when you expose everything that you want to do, you have enemies fighting over that particular thing. However, from the look of things, I think that Clara's sister have eyes for Clara's husband, Jonathan, because the way she's always running around Jonathan, trying to play, the good woman around Jonathan. I don't understand. Your sister is no longer in this house, yet you are here trying to form second wife for Jonathan. What is your mission in this house? Your enemies will never be happy for your success, just like what Emeka is doing right now. Even when Jonathan has taken you people out to celebrate with him, he is still not happy. He wants to look for a way to sabotage that job so that Jonathan will come back and start begging. According to Emeka, Jonathan is better a beggar than somebody who is working. I don't understand. What is your anger with Jonathan? Clara has made the best decision by going to apologize to Hanks, because she has actually offended Hanks so much. Clara's mistake is that she's never asking questions. Whenever something happens, she's always picking sides, and that has been her issue with Hanks. But I'm very happy that the both of them are now okay and things are working with them. We hope that we eventually continue having a good relationship after all. If Jonathan gets to the office and find out that somebody sabotaged that job, he might end up killing himself. Because from the look of things, the most important thing Jonathan wants to do is to use his money to pepper Clara. I mean, what kind of man is this? Jonathan got back home and was very excited. Everybody was so surprised. What is happening to Jonathan? What has Jonathan got in this time around? Teresa was like, Jonathan, what happened? We want to be part of your celebration. And Jonathan disclosed the news that the work he has been applying for, they have actually, accepted him. So they are calling him to come and start that job. And that job is going to get him a good amount of money. And he's back as the big Joe. He wants to start doing big things. There's one thing that Teresa don't understand. Clara is not a gold digger. Clara is not somebody that is easily manipulated, just like the way she is. And according to her, remember how I told you to hold on that God will do it. But at this point, Jonathan doesn't even want to believe that God is involved in this. He wants to believe that he's the one that pulled this off. And this is why Jonathan is never succeeding. He is always filled with a lot of pride, thinking that everything that happens around him, it has to be him. Even though he was congratulated by the daughter and everything, Jonathan was very excited, and according to him, he's going to deal with Clara. Why is Clara your problem? He was very excited and decided to go off singing a song. Teresa told Ben, you see, this is the reason why I told you. I told your mother to hold on to his man, that a man will not be down forever. Something will happen. Now look at this. Your mother will have to come back and, crawl in here and be begging Jonathan for Jonathan to accept her back. Little does she know that Clara is not even interested in Jonathan. Clara is not even my mom, but yet she takes care of me as if I'm her own biological child. So the question is, so Benny already know that Clara is not her mother, which means Clara must have told her in confidence, right? But yet, the way Clara takes care of this girl like her own child. That is what to tell you the kind of woman that Clara is. Benny asked Teresa, why do you hate Clara so much? You are always bringing her to every conversation. You are supposed to be her sister. What is going on? She doesn't hate Clara, but I think she has eye for Jonathan. Jonathan had to take his friends out to celebrate his great wins. You just got this job. You haven't even done anything. You're already spending the money. And Emeka is not even excited about the new development. So you actually got this job, he asked. And, Kenneth was enjoying himself and they were all celebrating. why Jonathan was, he kept on saying, drink more, drink more. I want you guys to drink, spend money, eat turkey. While Emeka is, disgruntled and is in pain and all that, they were all enjoying themselves. And Emeka started with his stupidity. Why are you acting as if you support him? When you had the opportunity to give him a job, you refused. You gave the job to somebody else. Now you are here acting as if you are happy for him. Why are you pretending? But why Kenneth decide to ignore Emeka? Jonathan is not even interested in anything right now. They just want, to move on and celebrate, because that is the essence of today. They just want to enjoy this. But looking at Emeka's face, you will know that Emeka is not even happy for Jonathan, not even for one bit. Teresa went ahead to boil yam, and they were eating the yam with oil. This is what they were having for breakfast this morning. You can imagine how poor Jonathan has become. He doesn't have money to put food on their table anymore. But when he came out, instead of him to eat the yam and oil, he said, when I get to the office, I'm going to get something better. I'm going to feed myself with good meal. Now, there's something that Jonathan does that is very striking. Now you want to go to the office to eat. What if you get to that office and this whole job of eating, things turn around and you eventually did not get the job again? Jonathan will eventually keep himself, because he had already made promises. He has already assured people how he's going to spend money on them. And he told them, don't worry, once I get a good amount of money, I'm going to spoil you people. Teresa seemed to be too excited. That is my problem. Do you have eyes for Jonathan, your sister's husband? While Clara was in her business premises, handling her business as usual, taking orders from her client, making sure that things go well for her business, not giving room for any form of sabotaging in this business, because Emeka and Debbie are really, really trying to use the husband to sabotage this business. The daughter ran to mommy to tell her the good news, what has happened. And then she was explaining, mommy, daddy has just gotten a good job and he has a good pay as well, over 800,000 naira. They're going to pay my dad. Clara at this point is very, very happy for Jonathan. At least Jonathan is now back on his feet. He'll be able to take care of his family and his responsibility. And she was very excited. And while they were, having this conversation and everything, she also told the daughter, you know what, go there, get some food, or you get to give to your auntie. One thing that I'm always surprised of is the way Clara is so calm. Clara is one woman that is very supportive. She's ready to do everything for her child and also to make sure that her family is intact. But the problem we are facing right now is the fact that Jonathan got this job, and the one thing that is running through his head is to deal with Clara. And that is why I'm saying that Clara might not end up coming back to Jonathan anymore. Emeka was telling Clara, you know what? I am so shocked that Emeka got a new job. How will he get a job? Like, I am so surprised. But the truth is, Emeka did not rate Jonathan, that Jonathan was going to get a job, simply because each time Jonathan has a job, eventually, he loses the job, right? He loses the job. So he was never thinking that Jonathan will ever get an opportunity to start a new job anymore. Debbie was very surprised and was asking, are you disappointed in yourself that you are not able to do what you are supposed to do? Why did you sleep on this one? You were supposed to act up, considering what happened to them after the last time encounter Emeka had with Jonathan. Now Jonathan beat up Emeka. Debbie, on the other hand, started telling Emeka what Jonathan, Benny and Clara did to her. They used her face to do a slapping exercise. And Emeka was really laughing at Debbie, because it's so funny how, the whole family were just using her face, for hot slap exercises and all of that. Debbie has also made up her mind that Jonathan is not going to stay in that job, that he's going to definitely lose that job. The question is, what is Debbie planning this time around? He wants to put some thought in Jonathan's head, so that Jonathan will eventually, end up losing the job or probably resigning from the job. But I don't think so, because Jonathan has really suffered. And because he has suffered so much, he doesn't want to give room for any form of misconduct anymore. He's so focused on making money so that he can deal with Clara. So anything that will want to come in between him and that job, Jonathan will not accept it. That is very true. But then, after the whole thing, they have gotten their own plans on how to sabotage that business and bring back Jonathan to the begging level, so that Jonathan can use opportunity to sabotage Clara's restaurant, so that Clara would crash. Clara eventually made up her mind to go to Hanks. On reaching Hans' office, Hans was very, very surprised to see Clara coming to his office because Clara has not visited Hans for a very, very long time. And Hans was so surprised to see Clara coming to his office and asked Clara, I'm surprised to see you here. What are you doing in my office? And Clara explained that she actually came here to apologize to Hans for all the things that she has actually done. You know how everything went. Clara slapped, Hans when Jonathan came to complain to her that Hans was insulting him. And even when the last incident happened, Clara did not even care to ask Hans any question. She concluded that Hans did it and everything has been proven. She came here to actually apologize because Hans went on TV media to actually tell the world that that girl is innocent so that nobody will go on the street to harass her. This is how you get to find out the kind of person that Hanks truly is. Even when Hanks still says, I love you and I keep tabs with you and I'm making sure that you are okay and everything is going well with you. Clara feels that Hanks is actually stalking him. But at the end of the day, Hanks is truly trying so hard to be with Clara. But would they end up being together at the end of the day? We don't know. We don't know. But from the compliment and everything that has happened, even though Hanks is saying that I'm not doing this, I'm not saying this because I want you to break up with your husband or to, end your relationship to come be with me. I'm just saying that the step that you have taken as a woman is worth it. And I actually admire your effort and everything that you are doing for yourself and your family. Besides, you look beautiful. Clara was very excited. I am very sure that this whole thing will end well. But there was one thing that Clara did, when Hans asked her, what about your daughter? I mean, the way you brought your daughter and all of that. And she said she probably took that from her mom. So Clara has exposed herself that she is not the mother of Benny. But will she tell Jonathan that she's truly not the mother of Benny? We'll find out about it on the next episode. Please like the video if you don't like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll bring the next episode as soon as it's double. For now, take care.